when you think about graduation and what you're going to create, you're only either going to create a weight line, right? Or you're not going to create a weight line, and that graduation is going to be subtle and built up. We have, again, what's called an external graduation and an internal graduation. So anytime you create any sort of graduated look, you're only ever going to create an external graduation and an internal graduation. I'll always go back and say this, that graduation is a very mistaught and overly taught thing as well, creates a lot of confusion. When you truly understand these simple things that I'm telling you right now, graduation becomes very easy. And we're going to go into detail about this, but always remember this: any section that is horizontal or teeters closer to a horizontal will always help you retain more weight. So when you're working an external graduation, you're only ever going to use a horizontal or horizontal diagonal section. Right. If you're not going to create a weight line and we're going to create an internal graduation, more like your lighter pixies, more like your really light graduated bobs, things like that, you're only ever going to use a vertical or vertical diagonal section. It's like, right? They see me doing this, pulling like this. And what they start to concentrate on is this. And they start to ask, what degree is that? What degree? Remember in our elevation lecture, we said that angles have nothing to do with degrees. This, again, is one of the biggest misconceptions that we're taught that's taught in the hair world, is that angles are what degrees mean. Whatever you see this has nothing to do with degrees, right? Remember, degrees is a measure of elevation of the hair at its root. Has nothing to do with an angle or a slope. What tells you where your hand should be is the root. The root of the hair is what will always put your hand in position to where it needs to be. Why? Because that's where dynamics exist, right? This is where elevation and overdirection exists, at the root. So you see where the root is telling me where my hand should be, right? 90 and 0. And this is what starts to create that weight line, right? Right? It sits where we determined it was going to sit with the length of the first one. And now it sits in the angle exactly of how we wanted it to sit with the angle of our section, right? So it sits like that because our sections were like that, parallel.